Hey everybody, just getting through another request here. We have SEI. So firstly, just looking at the monthly, we have our historic support trend, which is coming through here. Appears to be supporting, which is kind of what we like to see. And then that has moved up to there. So um, probably missed the entry. The entry would have been just off this new first retest of a support trend because it didn't create a hold level in here, so it wasn't going to have what it needed to break that. So the long really should have been from that point there back at like 33, no, what is that, 27 cents, about there. Now, bouncing off that trend as it currently stands, there isn't really any horizontal level to stop that until you get up here, which would be the break. Yeah, that'd be the break level of the range. So it's quite a long range. So what we then need is we need to know what's our topside trend. So this was just a sweep because it started on the trend. This was our first break of trend. So likewise, that would have been this would have actually been your best entry if you'd been sitting here watching this and just checking the chart once a month and looking for trade ideas. When the historical trend moved to here, when the downtrend got its first break, and when the price opened on top of the trend, that's pretty much where you would have got your first entry at sort of 20 cents. And then we've since then generated this hold level here. So if you ever got the opportunity of this thing diving back to 21.2 cents, that would be your really, really good entry. But at this stage, it's probably already moving up. So we need to look at, so we've got another break of trend, which is here. Okay, so we've started to run into some kind of resistance on this candle, but it appears to have got through that. It's created trend, it's pushing up. So if it closes like this for the month, then it's going to have another hold level at about 29309. And so in general, this just looks like it's working its way up. The target for this after that break of trend and the support being found is about 73 cents. Doesn't really look like it's had a proper markup phase yet, because all of this is actually part of the distribution. That's kind of more of a dead cat bounce type thing. It never actually broke the trend. So we will probably there'll be some kind of trend. You just want to keep an eye on this for monthly close. If it pulls back too much, it will probably reject, come back to the hold, and have to break the trend again. And that wouldn't be totally shocking, just given that you normally get about 5 of these cycle trends before you see the big push. So that's not 5 yet. So yeah, you might come back to this one more time. You might even get that hold level at the bottom. But really, it looks like it's trying to go through a cycle of distribution to then push back up to 73 cents. So that's kind of the monthly view. If we look at that from a weekly perspective, so let's take our can't really move any of those weekly trends. That one actually doesn't exist yet, so let's just get rid of that. This one moves, so this can go to here. Okay, so we're opening on the top side of the weekly trend if we close this way in 22 minutes, so that's positive. So we've got a whole bunch of break levels, etc., in here to be hit, but it actually looks like this is basically condensing. So you've got a break level to the top side here, which would be a weekly target of 37 cents, but it has not been hit. You've got a break level to the downside here of 24.8 cents, 22.4825, also hasn't been hit. Then you've got an origin level in here, which is created by the range being hit, and then this moving to the upside. So this is, yeah, so we've hit this, we've broken the downtrend, we've created an origin. So you might find that a pullback to this 27879, if that was to happen, anywhere sort of, particularly around this time when it would also correspond with a major trend retest, etc. If it was pulling back to there at that time, then that would almost certainly be an entry to look for higher highs. We do also have this here. So you can kind of see these are just boxes forming within boxes or ranges within ranges. So the whole price is compressing. If it was to break out and hard close this 34 level, which is this current break, which is rejecting, then it could bounce off that and just get continuation to the upside. How it does it is quite important. So if it was to get on top of this, tap the top break level, then hard close the bottom one, it could check the bottom one and it could go. And from a weekly perspective, the hold level up here has already been tested at 41 cents. So the next weekly target would become the break level of 47. So, and then you'd move on to the weekly hold up here at 65 cents, and then you'd be hitting the monthly completion of the monthly trade. So that looks pretty bullish at this stage. It's found monthly support. It's broken monthly downtrends. It's breaking weekly downtrends. And it is building origin levels. So the only catch here is it's building origin levels both top and bottom of this range. So this is 34 at the top and 27-ish at the bottom. So it will break out of this area at some point. The best risk reward is to try and catch a retest of the origin at the bottom and then a break at the top. That's your best risk reward on that kind of trade. Your second best is to see a tap of this break level to the top side, because if we tap the break level to the top side and we have not at that point hit the break level to the bottom side, then we are definitely just trying to work our way up. So second risk reward would be a tap of that, then back to this, and then up again. So but yes, SEI doesn't look too bad. Looks like it's going through some really high time frame distribution. It looks like it's had that initial monthly markup and probably liquidated everybody. I don't know whether people are talking about this too much at the moment. It'd be a positive thing if this is not getting shilled, that kind of stuff, because normally accumulation happens when in the quiet and then or in the FUD. So FUD or quiet, people are normally accumulating these things, and then once everyone starts talking about it, it's usually already on its way. So I'm not too sure how that sits with what your what drew you to this token, but it's yeah, it's looking pretty good for another stage up. So yeah, hopefully that helps, and we'll catch you again on the next one.